So today I'm going to talk about jealousy and envy. And I'm going to give my own unique perspective on this. I don't think there's anything like this out there on the internet. This has been through my own inner work that I've been very serious and committed to over the last decade, actually. So I've experienced a lot of jealousy and envy within myself, and I think everyone has. I think it's very normal, especially with the social media age, where everything is being portrayed of comparing yourself with others. And living in the Western world is also where everyone compares themselves with others, and it's very much ego based. That we all have faced jealousy and envy. If not, we even in the Western society, just being in the Western society, people compare you to others. So you constantly have this comparison game going on in the Western world. And if you go more towards Eastern world or even Eastern Europe, there's a lot less of this comparison and people comparing themselves to each other. So it's really a Western world thing. And it also shows in the Western world why we do have so much abundance in the Western world and why we do have so much prosperity and things compared to the Eastern world where there's a lot of poverty. So, jealousy and envy is not completely a bad thing. And that's where we'll go about in today's topic. We go really, really deep, and I hope you enjoy. I want to start with the first phase of jealousy and envy. The first phase of jealousy and envy that you experience is where you're just inactive, you're passive. So you feel jealousy and envy, and instead of actually improving yourself, you're projecting hate to others. You're hating on maybe people online, maybe with a secret account, you go hate on people, or you're hating on people in real life, but you're just in a passive aggressive mode. You're not trying to improve yourself, you're just trying to destroy other people. So, what happens if you are here and someone else is here? You want to drag them down. If you're here and someone else is here, you want to lift them up. So, what you see is that a lot of people start off with jealousy and envy very much on the spectrum of trying to drag other people down, right? Trying to drag other people down by hating on them, by being passive aggressive to them. And even it can be indirectly. So you could look at someone that has something that you want. For example, someone has a six pack or something, and you would say, oh, like, you know, I don't need that. I don't want that. They're just, it doesn't even look good. It doesn't even look nice. Why would you want that? No, like that kind of that attitude. When you know deep down you actually do want it, in a sense, so you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself and to others, saying that you don't want that or that you don't care about that, but secretly you're envious. Same way with jealousy, right? So more passive aggressive would be you would just be jealous and you wouldn't say anything about it to your partner or do anything about it. You would just kind of like passive aggressive, like why you're flirting with that person, why you're doing this, like why you're talking to them, like why are you whatever texting this person, kind of this kind of like passive aggressive, like that kind of attitude. And that's like the first stage. And what we can see, what is common, because it's one of the 7 deadly sins, right? So jealousy and envy. What we can see is it comes together with another sin, that's laziness, right? So it comes with passive laziness, not being active. So laziness, envy, and jealousy, they go together, right? They go together because when you're lazy, you're not improving yourself. When you're not improving yourself, you look at other people that are improving themselves and you get jealous of them. And you get jealous of them because you want that, but you're not going after that. You're lazy, so you're not doing anything about it. You're not planning to do anything about it. Maybe you even believe that you cannot do anything about it because that's also envy, right? The idea that you don't have the capabilities, or you lack the capabilities, or you lack what is necessary to get what you want. So that is the first stage. Now, the second stage is much more active. And this is where um, you're actually verbally speaking out, maybe even yelling at people, maybe even a bit aggressive. You're just like, you know, you're talking shit about, for example, people that have way more than you. You're talking really aggressively. You're talking really mean about other people, and you're really verbal about it. You're really aggressive about it. It's a bit more active, and there's a bit more energy to it. There's a bit more jealousy and envy actually to it, because that passive jealousy and envy, it's kind of like under the radar, and you almost admit it, like, I don't have envy or jealousy. I'm not that low of a person to have that, right? So you feel like, no, I'm clean. I don't want that. I don't need that. But you secretly, inside you do, and you're not taking any action towards it. So what happens in Eastern countries, they don't go through this whole process. They just stay at the first layer of just like, no, I don't need that, I don't want that. And then some people actually transcend it completely, the desire. Most people, they don't, and they just live in this kind of like passive aggressive state. um, so and yeah, that's actually fun. Okay, and then, I mean, it's not fun that people suffer this, but uh, if you look at it, if you really see and analyze it, you start to see, and then the third layer is, now you're actually progressing. So this is actually a positive thing. Like, people would say this would be a negative thing, but actually it's a positive thing. We actively now try to get what you want. So it's not the highest, it's not the highest form of being with jealousy, but it's actually a really high stage. It's really up there. So from this place, now you're taking action on your jealousy and envy. So now jealousy means fearing what you have, that you lose what you have. So fearing losing something that you have, or envy is you don't believe you can get something, and you're envious of what they have. So what now happens is you turn this into goals. So you turn it into a goal to get what you want. You get that thing that you believe you can get. You get that. You get to protect the things that you have. You create, for example, as if you have finance, you create a secure account, or you do something about protecting what you have. You take the signals of envy and jealousy seriously, and now you're acting on them. That's like, what was it, fourth stage? Yeah, fourth stage, right? So that was the first stage of, like, you're actively going and doing something about it. So you're using the jealousy and envy to improve yourself. So you improve yourself, you work hard on yourself, and you're like, I need to get it. And it starts to turn into this desire of needing to get it. Okay? And this is really good. This is where real progress is made. This is actually what I would recommend for most of you to be at, because I'm a Western man, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and say be like the Eastern people, just transcend it, just sit still and transcend all these things. No. What I'm saying is go after what you want. Do that. Feel the jealousy, feel the envy, feel it moving you towards progressing you in your life. So now you're actually trying to get the six pack. Now you're actually trying to get the money. Now you're actually trying to look good. Now you're doing the things to look better. Now you're doing the things to be more in shape. You're being active. You're doing those things. Okay? This is a really important stage. And I would say for most people, they're not at this stage. When I look around, most people, they are still in this kind of like lazy, passive aggressive place where they just using jealousy and envy to just hate on people and to be like, I don't want money, I don't want a six pack, I don't want, and you're just lying to yourself. Okay? You're just lying to yourself. Because most of you haven't transcended these desires completely. So it's better to just even go after them. Go after them. Go get what you want. That is a really good stage. It's not the final stage, but it's a really, really good stage for most people. So this is what then happens. So that's the fourth stage. And you can't escape this. You understand? You can't just be lazy and transcend it. It requires a real master to be able to do such a thing. Okay? For most of you, you're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to. So it's better to follow this path for most of you because you're not going to be able to just transcend it. Okay? So then what happens is you're taking action. Maybe you're getting some results, maybe not, but at least you're active. You're going into the direction. So you're working hard. You're not being lazy. You're working on either whatever it is, like money, appearances, looking great, whatever it is. You're really working hard on it. You're really investing money into it. You're really spending time and energy on it. And that's a really positive path, right? Because you're improving yourself. But then comes the last layer. The fifth layer. Is it the fifth layer? I think so. The fifth layer. And now we have gone to the extreme of ego. So we have gone from width, we have explored width. What is, I'm not enough, I need to get more, I need to get more, I'm never fulfilled. All right? To now the place of depth. Now, most people try to jump directly to depth without going through this whole process. What is spiritual bypassing? Okay, what is spiritual bypassing? And sometimes spiritual bypassing is fine, but if it is about your dreams, if it's about what you want in your life, like if you have a dream of being a singer, you have a dream of, becoming someone great, you should go after it. You should go and pursue it. You should go and not be lazy. Okay? You should be active, active, active. But you're still coming from a place of lack. You're still coming from a place of lack. So the jealousy, the envy, it's still of like, I'm not enough. I need to have what they have. I need to protect what I have because people can steal it. It's not enough on its own. Okay? So that's the whole root of it. So we go through this beautiful journey of jealousy and envy. As much as it's a sin, we should accept the journey. Okay? We should accept where we are at. Because it's not like what most people believe is like, oh, it's a sin. So right now I should never feel jealous or I should never feel envy. And it's like, no, that's not true. You see, it's just an indication of where you are at. So if you feel jealous and envy and you're letting it drive you into action, you're actually quite up there into progress. You're actually improving yourself. You're not just being lazy and just hating on people online and shit. You're actually using that energy to go and work out, to go and achieve your goals, to go even if you're like spiritual and you're like you seeing someone happy and like, oh, I don't know what to do, then you use that and you create a plan to become happy. You use a plan to meditate. So you use that as a motivation to meditate more. When you see someone happy, you use it as a motivation to meditate more. It's never about laziness, you see. Laziness is the biggest sin in this, actually, because what it's showing you is that when you're lazy, you're going to be passive aggressive. When you're going to be passive aggressive, you're going to do all these hateful things to other people, and it's natural because um, you can be lazy and um, and not hate and not be passive aggressive. If you're lazy, you're going to hate and you're going to be passive aggressive. Okay, so you got to be active always, even if it's meditation, even if it's happiness. So focus on meditation. Okay, when I wanted to be happy, I did active work on it. I did meditation retreats. I've done so many meditation retreats. You don't even know. So I use that idea of like, I want this, I want to be more happy. I use that to practically see, okay, that means I should improve on myself. I'm going to use all this fuel, all this energy, all this jealousy and envy to get me what I want. And for the fifth part, the last part, now it gets really interesting because then we come to the end of jealousy and envy, where we actually, throughout our action, throughout being active, we start to realize that this is not sustainable. We start to realize this is not really a healthy way of operating. And that is when we truly get into abundance. Because from there, we start to look at our limiting beliefs. First of all, maybe you have worked really, really hard to get it, and you still don't got it, and now there's this limiting belief of I cannot get it, I cannot get what I want. So you start to hit the end of the ego, the limiting beliefs of the ego. And what is important about this is to look at the limiting beliefs and to question them, to really go deep and question them. Because when you're active, you're trying to get somewhere, but there's still this belief that you cannot get there, that you cannot get where you want to go, that you can't achieve your dreams. So we should question those beliefs that are in the way, because we're active, we're doing actually everything right? We're working hard, we're spending a lot of time and energy onto this. Why would it not work, right? So it's about questioning those beliefs. Like, is it really true? This belief of like, I cannot have it, it's not for me. Why do I believe that? Did someone say that to me? Did I say that to myself? Where does this belief come from? Who told me this? That I cannot achieve what I want, that I cannot get what I want. Who told me this? And we really start to look at the core of jealousy and envy, what is lack. We start to look at do I really lack what is necessary to achieve this? Do I really lack what is necessary to get what I want? Now, of course, if you are blind or something, or you can't hear, it's gonna be a bit hard to say, um, that all of a sudden you will hear or you will see. I mean, there are instances where I think there's technology that could even progress so fast that we can fix all of those things. I think there's even technology that already can fix deaf people or something, where they can hear a lot better. Um, so even there, it's like never give up. But the whole idea is that when you want to get something, you need to first of all take action towards it. Try to get it. It's not a bad thing. You want something, you need to get it. Okay? Because you're not gonna able be to transcend it just like that. For most of you, you're not gonna be able to transcend it just like that. You just need to get it first before you can transcend it. So go get it. Go after it. And then all the beliefs of like, it's not for me. They can have it, they're lucky, but not me. They have, rich parents or something, or they look better than me, so they can have it, but not me, blah, blah, blah. This kind of like victim mindset. This kind of like self-pity. Oh, like, I was, like, they have so much more luck than me. They didn't work so much as me. I worked for a whole week. I worked for 1 month. I worked for 1 year and I still don't got it. Okay? People don't realize how much work it takes sometimes. It doesn't matter. You see? It doesn't matter how long you have worked. It doesn't matter if you are 10 years into it, trying to get what you want. Okay? Even if you're 10 years into it, look at those beliefs. Like, why can't you have it? Why is it not for you? And then we start to get to the core issue of the whole jealousy. What is the jealousy and envy? What is I cannot have what I want? I can lose what I have. Is this insecurity issue of the ego, of lack? And I'm not saying that comparison is completely bad. It's actually good. We have seen right now, through all the comparison and jealousy and envy, you improve yourself. But now we start to remove the lack from the jealousy and envy. Because what is behind jealousy and envy is just a go-getter energy. It's just the energy of improvement, of growing. So that's why I say jealousy and envy is not bad. It's just that we have to use it. And then when we use it, at some point we can transcend it. And that's when you truly let go. Because there's one thing to just like sit here with you and I say to you, feel your jealousy and envy and let go. But I just know myself and I know you. And I know that that's not gonna work, you see? Because when you want something, you're not gonna just let it go like that. Instead, especially when it's like your dream, if it's your dream, if it's something you really, really want, you're not just gonna let go like that. So that's why I say just go after it instead. Go after it instead. Go work on it. Go improve yourself. Go work hard. Go become a better person. And then using all that jealousy and envy, and then we can look at what is really like, what are you really believing? Because when we go beyond those obstacles, you start to find a whole new version of success. What is actually being enough as you are. I have everything I need. I am good enough. I don't need it from safety or things in the world. I don't have to find security in the world. And therefore, I start to feel secure within myself. I start to feel enough within myself. I start to feel I am enough in myself. I start to be grateful for what I have instead of being jealous of of other people, seeing what I don't have. And instead of comparing myself to someone in a negative way, what is looking at someone that has more than me, I start to compare myself to someone that has less than me. And I'm like, this person has no food, no water, no house, no money. And look at what I have. And it's best to not even compare in that sense, just to be grateful. But it's actually a good swing from jealousy and envy to just like, boom, like to gratitude, to see abundance, to appreciate what you have, to appreciate what you do have right now. And that also means to use what you have to get what you want. So instead of this idea of like, I don't have, it's not for me, I can do it. Now you start to see, I actually do have money. I actually can use that money to, for example, get to a better gym membership, to get a coach to help me get into shape, whatever you want to do, right? To use that. And you start to, because of your appreciation, you start to see what you have. And now you start to use what you have because you start to see, oh, I actually have what I need. You start to use what you have to get what you need. And um, it's just like it was always there. You always had what you needed to get further and to improve yourself. You always got what you needed to achieve your goals. You always had that already here. And it's like you start to see that all this lack energy that envy and jealous has is nothing but poison. So that's when you truly let go. And now you're no longer lazy, you see, because if you just lazy and you let go, that's not truly letting go. Truly letting go is you're going through all of it. You're going through all the emotions. You're actually being active. You're actually doing. You're actually trying to get what you want. And then you get to a more transcendent place where you let go of all that poison of I'm not good enough, I don't have enough, and you start to be grateful and appreciate. And instead of comparing yourself to others in a negative way, you start to compare yourself to others in a positive way, what means you look at what you do have. Maybe you even look at a person that you're jealous of in a few months and you're like, they don't have any free time, or they don't have any, maybe they don't have parents, or they don't have, they don't have love in their life, or they don't have peace or happiness, right? So you start to see and you start to appreciate others as well. So instead of being jealous of others, now you start to appreciate them. You start to appreciate other people. You start to appreciate yourself. You start to appreciate and start to be grateful and becoming present to the moment. And then you start to see how this all comes together from all the jealousy and envy and negative emotions, from all the stages. Now you progress. And it's not the Eastern approach of just bypassing all of this. It's the Western approach mixed with the Eastern, where you start to see when I go use all the jealousy and envy, try to improve myself, try to become better, try to do all the things, hit the ceiling of your own ego with all the limiting beliefs and all the things, and then questioning them, letting go of all those old beliefs, and truly becoming appreciative, grateful in the moment, being enough as you are, as you already are, not in width of ego, in depth of your soul. And that's when you're on your purpose. That's when you're truly aligned. And that's when jealousy, envy, you just know exactly what to do with it anytime it comes up. You're not saying boo, jealousy, envy. You're not saying you're bad or go away. You're actually understanding now what this all was. Okay? It was all the desperation of the ego needing more, to using that to eventually become inspiration. And then from the desperation turned into inspiration. And now you're on this beautiful journey where you're active, you're doing, but you're also inactive in the sense of you're present, you're in the moment, you're here, you're grateful. And you let go of all those lack beliefs. You're just so full of abundance. You have so much. You can do so much. All your dreams you can achieve, all the things that you want you can get. And there's no longer this limiting belief of I cannot get this, I cannot do. You just go get it. But now from a place of abundance, of peace, of love. And what you will see when you feel abundant, it also has to reflect on the outside. As within, so without. You go deep enough inside yourself, you start to see how that affects your world around you. I think this is one of the best videos I've made so far, because it really gets to the core of most people that they're struggling with right now. What is this envy, jealousy, the constant social media comparison thing? It really gets to the core of it. Not bypassing it, not just saying, I'm just going to be happy with myself, but just going through the whole process so that you truly let go and that you can truly live an abundant life and live the life of your dreams. What is letting go of all those limiting beliefs of the ego, like I'm not good enough, I don't have enough, I don't. You start to appreciate what you have, you start to be grateful for who you are, and you start to really be an abundant being. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I want to thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. And I'll see you in the next video.